All right. Let's get going.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Hey! Hey! What do you know? That little runt just ripped me off. So what now? Hey, where'd you guys come from?
Booster here tells me that you're the guy who stole a bunch of bananas from him.
What? That's a load. As a matter of fact, he ripped me off.
Booster, are you sure he's the one?
Yeah, that's the dude.
The kid's lying. He ripped me off.
Oh, me? He's the one who's lying. He stole the bananas and ate them.
Oh, if you weren't a little kid, I'd teach you a lesson.
Hey, man, you robbed the kid.
What? You're all crazy.
I don't think so. You owe this kid and you'd better pay up.
Okay, if you guys want to do it the hard way, but I was only looking for Dr. Marius.
You're looking for who?
Dr. Marius.
He called her Dr. Marius. No one knows that about her except us three.
What did you say? Maybe he's the traveler.
No way. He stole from a little kid. He's not special.
Yeah, you're right, Casey. Dr. Marius said the visitor would be brave and kind, not some kind of sneaky guy who steals bananas from a helpless little kid. No, this guy can't be the one.
You're right, Django. This ain't the guy who's going to save the Earth.
Huh? Hey?
Nah, he can't be the traveler.
What are you talking about?
When Dr. Marius talked about the traveler, she said he'd be a great junk leader. So I'm gonna give you a chance to prove you're worthy of seeing her, even if you're not the traveler, by challenging you to a junk blade race. You wanna ride, stranger?
Let's get it on.
Here's the deal. If you win, I take you to see Dr. Marius. If I win, you give me all your money.
That sounds fair to me. You got a deal.
Listen up. We'll race around the streetlight 3 times and use level 2 junk blade rules.
Fine by me. Just make sure you pay up when you lose. I don't want you turning tail and sneaking off.
Huh? Prepare to get smoked.
Okay, junk bladers, ready, get set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You have no hope. You're never gonna win. You have no hope. Damn, you're pretty good. What's your name?
You're pretty good yourself. My name's Akano.
Akano, huh? Maybe you'd like to hang out with us for a while. You make a hell of an addition to my junk blade street race team.
Thanks for the offer, Cracker. Maybe I'll take you up on it some other time. But now, I've got to get to Dr. Marius right away.
Okay, let's go.
Wow. Look at this place.
Hey, yeah, no place like home. In here.
Okay, let's go. Are you Dr. Marius Hull? Dr. Hull? Are you okay? Dr. Hull, can you hear me? Please, tell me what's wrong.
Forget it, man. You can't be the traveler or else she'd talk to you. You're wasting your time.
Dr. Hull, please talk to me. We need you. We all need you. Please, Dr. Hull.
Forget it. She's not going to talk to you.
Hey, leave me alone, will you? You have no idea how important this is. Please, talk to me. I've come all this way for nothing.
Akano, you should leave. I've kept my end of the bargain. You'd better get going now.
Huh?
Akano, your journey has not been in vain. I had to be sure it was you. I had to feel your energy, your power. There is no mistake. You are the traveler.
It's true. I can hear your thoughts.
You always could. All you had to do was listen. Now that you're here, you can begin. Don't be frightened. Be joyful. And all your questions will soon be answered. What you fear does not have to be. There is hope.
What do you mean? I don't understand. What's going on?
Akano, you don't have to use words to communicate with me. Just use your mind to speak to me, the way I'm using mine to speak to you. Concentrate. You can do it.
But I can't. I don't know how.
You can. Concentrate on my voice. Concentrate.
Yes. Yes, I can hear your thoughts. But how?
You have always had the power. And soon you will have the knowledge to put that power to good use.
But what power?
Listen carefully, Akano.
How do you know my name?
I know who you are and why you're here. But there are things you don't know about me, yourself, and the things you have to do. I'll tell you all about it now. Right now. Many, many years ago, a different kind of human evolved on this planet. These people, although outwardly identical to all others in every way, had special powers and abilities, and were called travelers, just like you and I.
A traveller?
You see, Akano, now, with your sister gone, you and I are the last of the travelers. We are the only ones with the power to make the changes that need to be made.
Me? A traveller?
I am old and weary. I need you to help me realize the goal of freedom for this world. Don't be frightened. It's all right, Akano. It's all right. You are a traveller, as was your sister. Sometimes you hear or see things others can't. Some things affect you that don't affect others.
I can hear you.
That too is one of your special powers.
One of my special powers.
Many years ago, when I discovered my special powers, I sensed there would be a time when my skills would be needed for something of great significance.
I see.
I continued to pursue the career in science to which I naturally gravitated, doing my best to hide the special abilities that might get me imprisoned like the other travellers. And then I created the hull drive. The hull drive was the most advanced energy system ever devised. As you know, its design soon created interest from governments all over the world. This attention made me a reluctant celebrity in the scientific community. They promised that my invention would not be used for anything but peaceful endeavours. But when I eventually realised their true intentions were to use the hull drive for weapons development, I was forced to sabotage my own invention. The hull drive was created to help the human race, not destroy it, and that was when I discovered my special powers. After I managed to hide the information needed to complete the hull drive, I ran away, with no destination in mind. I knew I would be hunted, and if found, tortured for my knowledge about my invention. I wandered into this place and met Cracker and the others. And so I used my special powers to shut down my entire physical body. I have lived like this ever since. As the years have gone by, I have grown old and weak. But at my age, I am not able to restart my physical body. I need someone to help me. I need a traveller. I need you, Akano. I've been waiting for the day you would arrive.
I'm here for you, Dr. Hull. I'll do all I can to help you.
Good. There's a lot of work to be done. I know that your friends will not be able to complete the hull drive without my help. But since I cannot use my physical body, you are the one who must do the work that I cannot. This is of the most grave importance, Akano. I'm asking you to help me save the Earth.
I just hope I won't disappoint you, but I'm ready to do anything to help you. Anything.
I know you will not disappoint me, Akano. I need you to be my eyes, ears, and hands in the physical world. I need you to take me to your friends, so that with my help, you can fix the hull drive and restore it to working order. We need to move quickly. I know time is running out for you, and time is running out for me. You see, soon the final chapter of my life will come to a close. There is very little time to do so very much work.
You're taking her away from here, aren't you?
Yes. It's time for her to go, Cracker. You knew this time would come.
Please, you can't go. Why do you have to leave?
Don't cry, Cracker. Don't cry. I have to go. It's for you and everyone else. You'll soon understand. And when you do, you'll know it was the right course for me to take. Be strong. And remember, I will always love you and the rest of the children. I'll always cherish the kindness we shared here. Now you must be the parent to the rest. You must teach them how to survive, how to take care of themselves. You've got to be brave. It's been a short time. But every day that I spent with you has been memorable. You will grow, Cracker. You will grow. You and the rest of the children will continue to take your first steps to adulthood.
We'll miss you. We'll miss you so much. Things will never be the same without you here, Marius.
No. Things will be different. Different for the better. It's up to me and Akano to make sure of that. You have a chance to grow up to be a capable, successful man. You and the other children of the world. So don't think of this as the end. Think of it as the beginning of your future. Goodbye, Cracker.
The bells are ringing in East Edge. Christmas is just a few hours away. Yeah, and maybe so is the destruction of the entire known world. Can the old woman really save us all? Sure as hell hope so. But every time I've seen a silver lining lately, it's just been the reflection of some giant cosmic spanner being thrown into the works. Anyway, tonight it's 21:15 and I for one would like to see those digits keep clicking over. She's a traveller?
Ah, so it's true that some travelers survived.
And that they have the power to control the life force beyond the comprehension of ordinary humans.
I've got some other big news for you. I found out from Marius that, I'm a traveller too.
Akano!
Ha! He's a traveler! Now it all makes sense! No wonder those Zeta rays affected him like that when we were in the pagoda.
I don't understand. I always thought all the travellers died off over 30 years ago.
That's what everyone thought. But it was all just misinformation, fed to the public by the government to cover up their failed experiments.
Failed experiments?
Yes. Biological experiments kept secret from the rest of the world. Only a handful of people knew that the government and the fledgling company, Hayano Industry, were exploiting travelers to use as super soldiers for their own evil purposes.
So, the travelers didn't become extinct from climatic changes as was reported to the rest of the world.
No, they were killed off for their blood.
When you say for their blood, do you really mean for their blood?
Yes. The Meridian Project has been in the works for over 30 years. At its inception, travelers' blood was used to try to clone a new breed of superhumans to do work that ordinary humans couldn't.
Yes, there was something about superhumans in the computer files at the pagoda, but it didn't mention travellers.
But it would be impossible for humans to move in and live there straight away. but travelers could.
Really?
Hayano needed travelers to work in hostile environments encountered on a new planet. The travelers would also serve as expendable test subjects for any alien germs that might contaminate Meridian's passengers. The plan was to expose travelers to alien environments and then isolate them to check for infection.
How does that matter?
Who do you think makes it possible for them to live in such a dangerous environmental condition?
What do you mean, who makes it?
So when their attempts to clone from the travelers failed, they experimented with new cloning methods and came up with the procedures that created creatures like Kondo.
They developed new ways to clone superhumans from synthetic DNA. Kondo is the result of these early experiments.
And to think we were a part of their continuing cloning research.
It makes me furious that we contributed to the creation of that animal, Kondo.
But Asaka, how do you know so much about all this?
Well, I've done a lot of research on it. But we should get moving on the hull drive. We can't afford to stand around here and talk about the past.
He's right. Akano, how can Dr. Hull help us fix the drive?
She's in a very weakened state. She can't use her physical body to speak or move, so she's going to telepathically communicate all of the information we need to my mind, and then I'll download it directly into the hull drive.
It's too dangerous! If any kind of random power surge caused the slightest reversal fluctuation, your brain would be fried!
I'm willing to take that chance.
But Ricardo, it could kill you.
Hey, don't sweat. I'm a traveller, remember?
Dear boy.
We've got no choice. There's too much depending on this. Akano, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, then it's settled. Akano, are you ready to begin?
I have realized my dream, my destiny. Now the entire world shall recognize the power of Zeno.
Anti-gravity sequence online. Antimatter modules at the ready. Begin anti-gravity sequence via antimatter module.
Telemetry systems are go. Primary reactors are go.
Secondary reactors are go. Tertiary reactors are prime.
Check and double-check the system.
Yes, sir.
I see you're running some final tests, Zeno? Ryuichi. I was hoping to see you. Cat got your tongue? I thought you were glad to see me. I've known about your foolish plan for a long time. Plan? But I have no idea what you're talking about. I enjoy watching snakes squirm. Did you really think you could steal my ship? Oh. Just as I said he would, Kondo. Wait until the ship was ready. Tell me it wasn't by making up a story of mechanical problems in a feeble attempt to catch me off guard, and then try to steal the ship. He would actually try to steal the ship. My ship. From me. From me. How predictable. How banal. How transparent. How impossible. But you will soon learn who really gives the orders around here, and who jumps to carry them out. Make no mistake about that, Zeno. As I thought. Zeno, you are finished. I knew this day would come. I knew you would betray me, but I needed you to complete the job. And now that it's done, So are you.
No, Ryuchi. I am just beginning. You say you needed me to complete the job? You were the one being used. I needed your financing to complete this project. My project. My ship. Zeno is the man who was always in control. Zeno is the man who will rule. And soon the whole world will know this to be true.
Zeno, you're more insane than I thought. I kind of like that. Too bad we won't be working together anymore.
You call me insane? Insane? Many great men before me were called insane. I have a vision. A vision of a perfect world. A world of order and abundance. A world free of war and starvation. A world under one benevolent ruler. Zeno!
It fascinates me that a man of such vision is so blind. The ship is completed, and you are redundant. Kondo, take out this piece of trash.
Don't move if you value your life. You both have so much to learn. You will not take what's mine.
What's this? It looks like he's one of them. Oh, he is.
We've got to stop him. We've got to.
Hisaka, remember, the kid's got junk blade races to win in the future.
I know, Chris, I know.
The car now. It's ready now.
All right, I'm buckled up and ready to rock and roll. Marius? I'm ready. Let's begin.
Akano, even with your powers, this will be life-threatening. I want you to be absolutely sure you are ready for this. I need you to be strong, and part of that strength will come from the confidence you have in yourself.
I understand.
Akano, have faith. Be brave. You can do this.
Yes, I know I can, Marius, and I will. For you, for my sister Nina, for the other travellers who aren't with us anymore, and for a future world without cruelty and hatred. This is a race against evil, the most important race of my life.
Mr. Hayano, Zeno's in the main computer room. He's locked out all ancillary computers. It looks like he's trying to take control of the ship from there.
What? You've got to stop him. You've got to find some way to get him out of there. And find it fast.
I'll send someone on the double, sir. But the launch sequence is counting down.
Stop it! Do whatever you have to do to stop it!
I can't, sir. He's locked us out.
Damn it. You've got to find a way. He's got to be stopped. He's got to be stopped!
The new data has been accepted and stored in main memory banks. This data enables Hull to function at maximum thrust tolerance.
Is it over?
Akano! Are you all right?
I'm okay.
That's the way to hang tough, sailor. You did a hell of a job.
That was impressive, pal. The drinks are on me.
Akano, you were strong as I knew you would be. The information that you've provided will enable the drive to operate. But it's up to you and your friends to make sure it's used for good and not evil. Now that I am no longer needed here, I can move on to my final resting place in peace.
Marius, do you have to go? We've got so much to talk about. So many questions for you. And I've lots of questions about myself. I'm so confused about what it means to be a traveller. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be? Marius, I'd feel so lost without you here.
Akano, I don't have all the answers you seek. I can't tell you exactly what path you should follow. You must find your own way. Ever since the Earth was born, change has kept it alive. Our young Earth cleansed and renewed itself periodically to survive. From the age of invertebrates, fishes, reptiles and mammals, the Earth remained, and still remains, in a constant state of change. Whether from within itself, or through some galactic hand of fate, the Earth has always managed to adjust its own direction and destiny. The Earth has always called upon weather to regulate conditions and populations. The weather has its own rhythm, its own pulse, and left alone has continually administered its power in an often brutal, but ultimately self-serving way. That is, until modern man tampered with it. But 70 years ago, when modern man created a mass environmental crisis, we ignored it, and when it started to threaten our way of life, we put silly labels on it, like terrathermic syndrome. But it was too late. The die was cast. We had already begun to destroy the delicate balance of the planet that sustains us. In light of this impending crisis, nature's wisdom prevailed, and it sought to cleanse the Earth yet again. But this time of its present human life forms, a new life form emerged. One that could sustain itself in this newly created, polluted environment. Travellers.
But what are you saying? That the Travellers were a new life form created to live on a polluted Earth?
As I said, I don't have all the answers.
But I have to know. I have to know my purpose. Why am I here? What do I do with the special powers I have?
Akano, we must all use the special powers we have in our own way. The important thing is to remember to use them for good. Many years ago, my powers enabled me to look into the future. What I saw was a picture of total destruction. It was an Earth ravaged and razed by modern man's disregard for nature and his blind obedience to greed, power and violence. This vision changed the direction of my life. It stopped me from letting my creation become a part of the destruction. And now, your powers are helping to rebuild the damage that has already been inflicted upon our Earth and its people. Akano, I believe that you might be this planet's last chance for survival.
Me? It's so hard to believe.
It shouldn't be, Akano. Now that you've recognized your powers, now that you know what's made you different all along, you understand what makes you special. Special enough for me to wait for you all these years. I always believed that someday the answer to my questions would come to me in the form of a young and powerful traveller. A young traveller who held the answer to the question of the parallax key.
The parallax key? What's it really mean? What's the answer?
You're the answer, Akano. You always have been. The parallax key simply means a new way of looking at how to solve the problems of the environment. You've provided the answer by bringing my machine to the world. Believing in you has given me the strength to hold on all these years. For you see, even with my powers, I'm subject to all the frailties of any ordinary human. There were times when I wanted to give up, to stop fighting for the causes I struggled so hard for. I became despondent and began to lose hope of finding you. I almost gave up on everything until I met Cracker and the other children.
Hey, Django! Throw me the ball!
Hey, Booster, try and catch me! Hey, you're cheating! Bang! Bang! Gotcha!
When I was ready to give up all hope, those children snapped me out of my depression. I looked at their faces and knew I was looking into the future. A future these children would not be able to survive. I realized at that moment that I could never give up hope of finding you, and the key to changing my vision of a desolate world. These children are the citizens of the future, and I was not going to let them be robbed of one. And so I stayed with them, doing my best to help them adjust to their difficult situations, and they helped me, in small ways. And also in the most important way, they gave me back hope. Hope for a bright future, hope for a better world. And now you, Akano, must make all of our dreams come true.
Uh-oh. A major energy drain coming from under Area D5.
Well, maybe we can reason with them. If they know the situation, they might abort. If they launch, all the work we've done will all be for nothing. The energy for that ship's takeoff will drain all the K-Pax in the world. We'll all be doomed.
Oh my God! Come on! We've got to stop them!
Yeah.
I'm going too!
Marius, I'll do my best to make you proud. I just hope this new crisis doesn't stop us all in our tracks. We've got to stop that ship from launching, or else everything's lost. I'd hate to think that your work failed because we did. But why am I even thinking that? There's no way I'd let that happen. We'll stop them, Marius. For you. I promise.
I know, Akano.
Marius, I have to go now. The others need me, and there's not much time.
Akano, I believe in you. Go. Use your abilities to fulfill your destiny and secure a future for everyone. Farewell.
We're too late.
They've launched, those crazy bastards. There's got to be something we can do.
They've launched. What can we do?
Come on. We'll figure something out. Let's go.
Kondo! We've got to get control of this ship back. So far the crew can't get to Zeno. It looks like it's going to be up to you.
But sir, maybe we should let him eliminate some of our enemies before we stop him. The crew said he was going to destroy key missile bases. This kind of destruction was part of our original plan. We can capture him later.
Capture him later? He's destroying my dream! We have to get this ship back to finish our real mission. Zeno wants to destroy this world, not colonize another planet. Besides, he launched without my knowledge, and I'm the only one with the connections to jam the international Star Watch computer system. Which means every missile base of every Star Watch member in the world is tracking us. Right now. Kondo, you have to stop him!
Yes, sir.
It's humongous.
You said it, kid. That thing's more like a floating country than a ship. I sure hope we can catch up to it in time before it's gone.
Gone's a good word, Professor. Because if that ship hits the perimeter of Starwatch space, it's going to trigger an alert that will make it the target of every Starwatch member missile in the world.
Not if the ship strikes first. Remember the Doomsday scenario? The only way for this ship to survive is to make sure that everything else is destroyed.
The old Doomsday scenario? How could I forget? Azaka, put your foot down.
If we do catch up with that thing, how are we supposed to get into it?
Don't sweat. I've done my research. I know exactly how to get into this thing.
How do we get close enough? What's to stop them from shooting us down?
My James Bond-like flight.
Well, we made it, Bond. What now?
The ship's controlled from the main bridge. That's where we're going. Come on!
Sir, at this rate the ship will reach the perimeter of Starwatch sensors in 10 minutes.
He's going to try to make a first strike before that happens. Can't we shut down his weapon systems from here?
Aye, sir. We should be able to. But the way he has the system rigged, we're locked out.
Damn it! I'll get you somehow, Zeno.
Uh-oh. Over there!
It's on your side, buddy. You can't pass up an invitation like that.
I don't want to leave you guys. Looks like you're having so much fun with your new friends.
Go, Colonel, don't worry. We'll be all right here.
You sure?
We'll be okay! Get to the bridge!
Okay, so you guys be careful. I'll see you soon.
See ya!
What's going on?
Mr. Secretary, there's a huge flying object of unknown origin hovering over the East Edge City. It's over 2 miles long.
Damn, I should have known. He betrayed me.
Sir, the ship will enter the perimeter of the Star Watch defense zone in a few minutes.
He knows the system's still active, so he'll try to attack first. Prepare to launch defensive missiles.
But, Mr. Secretary, you know we need a direct order from the President for that kind of action.
Fool! We'd all be dead by the time you make the call. Launch those missiles now!
Yes, sir. Missiles are ready to launch, sir.
Stand by!
Our climate control systems are going crazy, sir. Oh no, all of our K-back units are shutting down one by one. All K-back sectors have failed, sir.
How could that happen?
A trace stream of energy leads to an underground area called Section D5. It also looks like the point of departure for that giant ship.
Of course! He had to drain all the K-Pack's energy to launch the ship.
The temperature is rising everywhere.
How could I have trusted that animal? What a fool! What a fool!
Missiles ready to launch, sir. On your command.
There'll be no launch.
But, sir...
It's over! It's all over! There's nothing we can do. And to think... Today is Christmas! Today is Christmas!